We got it. The baffle is in. Will my ears thank me? Let's find out. So to recap, as you guys saw a couple weeks ago, I put in a Pipeworks decat for my exhaust, basically just kind of cutting out the muffler. And when I got it, it came with this piece, which was a dB killer. It's just basically a sleeve that goes inside of the exhaust and just kind of narrows the diameter a little bit. Didn't really do anything. I did a sound comparison with and without this, and it was minimal. I don't think I found any differences whatsoever. However, they sell this, which is the super quiet baffle, and so it's got a lot more surface area, it's drilled. This should quieten things down a lot more. So what we're going to do is we've taken this one out, let's put this one in, and then I'll do a quick sound comparison. We'll kind of take a look at what we had recorded previously and see if this makes any difference, see if my ears will stop ringing after I finish a ride. So before we put this in, I'm pretty confident that this will actually deaden the sound a little bit, and the reason why is because I have a similar setup on my Grom here. So here's the aftermarket exhaust that I have. It's from MIV, and this has a pretty big but similar silencer that comes in here. So it's also pinched at the end, it's also drilled, and this really deadens the sound pretty well, especially at idle, so I'll show you that right now. Let me put this back in. Hold your jokes, please. And we'll turn this on and have it at idle, and then after a while I'll pull this thing out and then we'll see. So the nice thing about this silencer is that at idle it almost sounds stock. It's not that bad. There's no echo at all. But if I take it out, let's see if the camera picks this up. Hopefully it will. It's got more of a drone, it's got more of an echo, kind of a wop 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 sound. Let's give it some revs and see. So hopefully it picked up that sound. That was a huge difference. That was at 3,000 RPM. So I'm pretty confident that the Benelli Pipeworks super quiet will actually be super quiet. Okay, taking a pause here real quick because I was kind of assuming which way it goes in was going to be this way, just based on the Grom's silencer, that this was kind of oriented down towards the engine, but the way that this fits is, yes, it goes in farther with this one, but this side is not tapered at all, so it butts up against the exhaust port, so it doesn't actually fit the fittings here. So, top tip goes this way. Now let's keep going. Alright, we got the extra quiet baffle in. Now let's do the same test that we did a couple weeks ago. I'm going to run it at idle. I'm going to hold it at 4,000 RPM, and then I'm going to rev it up to about 8,000 RPM. So let's see how good it is.
Getting a little night ride in. This extra quiet Baffle is doing pretty well. That drone at higher RPM is not there anymore. I don't feel it in my ears. I don't feel it in my chest. It's still loud. I will give it that, but it's not as resonant anymore. I will say though that the idle I wish was a little bit lower. Because with the Groms, at least, that silencer, it sounds almost stock when you come to an idle or basically anything below like 3,000 RPM. This exhaust, it still does have that womp sound, but it's not completely overpowering. So now it just sounds good. Dude, turn your lights on, you dumbass. There he goes. Some people. So I think this extra quiet Baffle does give me the best of both worlds, because comparing the two with the decibel sound, it lowered it just a little bit, which is not a lot, and I didn't expect it to, but there must be something with the difference in the decibel level versus like the actual sound itself, because while it didn't show a huge difference, I could hear a huge difference, if that makes any sense. The old DB killer, or just with nothing at all, was so echoey and so loud, like it just hit you in your chest. But the extra quiet Baffle thankfully cut that. So the sound was still there. Thank you for cutting me off. The sound was still there, but it wasn't painful. Like, it had just the right amount of deafening to it, or sound deadening to it. So now I feel a lot better about this exhaust. Yes, it's still loud, but it's Italian. It kind of sings a little bit. I think I'll let the Benelli speak for itself when it says, "Thanks for watching." See you next time.